Have you ever been praying for something and you believe God's going to give it to you and it's His will, but you lose faith and your human instincts take over? The other day I was at the airport and I really needed to get home to do a test, and I had some work projects to do the next day, so it was really important that I had to get home that night. And as I get to the airport, I don't have a lot of time, so I go to TSA and there's a long line. It's really long, and I'm praying that God will get me home, and I believe He will. I had faith, but as I'm getting closer through TSA, they're taking a long time. Like, the TSA agents aren't moving quick, and then the people putting their luggage through the scanner are just taking time, and it took a good 30-40 minutes. And as I'm standing in line waiting to get to the TSA, my boarding starts and my plane starts to board, so I'm getting a little bit stressed at this point. And so I finally get to the TSA, my turn to go through the scanner and put my luggage through, and I put my luggage on the conveyor belt, and I walk through the body scanner to scan, and I make it through, and I go to get my stuff on the other side, but my 2 laptops are gone. Like, they didn't make it through the scanner. It was my work laptop, which I need for work, and my personal laptop, which I needed for my final exam tomorrow, which was very imperative for that class, and I really needed to get that done to get a good grade on that class. So I get through. I'm stressing a little bit, but they probably just pulled it aside to search it or something, but I'm looking and it's not there. They didn't pull it aside to search. It's just not there. So I started asking around, and I'm getting a little bit nervous. I'm getting pretty stressed at this point, as boarding is already halfway through. The doors were closing in like 15 minutes. I'm asking around if anyone had seen my 2 laptops, and they were busy. They weren't really in a place to help me at that point, and they said they would, but they had to I had to give them a few minutes. And at this point, I'm really stressed. Like, I'm pretty nervous. I forgot about my faith in God, to be honest, that He would get me through to my plane on time. And I'm just worried about my 2 laptops that I really need. I can't afford to buy a new one, and I don't want to tell work that I can't do their project because I don't have their laptop and they have to get me a new one. So as I'm standing there waiting for them to help me, he casually mentions you could search through this stack of empty bins, and I'm just thinking it's not going to be there. They're stacked flush. There's no room for anything in between. So I start searching them, going through them all, and sure enough, there they are. So I immediately put them in my backpack and I start running to the gate, just booking it to the gate, because at this point my flight, the gates were closing in about 10 minutes, and it's a long, like from the TSA to the gate is still a good long trip. So I'm running. I've never run this fast in an airport in a long time. So I'm running. I make it, and I finally make it to the gate. And just before the gate, I really have to use the bathroom, and I didn't know if I could wait any longer. And so I decide to risk it, and I run to the bathroom. And then when I get out, I get to the gate, and sure enough, they're still boarding. And not only are they boarding, but they weren't even close to being done. Like, I had plenty of time. All that stress and worry and distracting me from my trust in God was unnecessary, because God was holding the plane for me. I didn't have to stress. I just needed to trust Him. But instead, I was stressing and worrying about all of this, that I wasn't going to make my flight, but instead of just trusting in God. So this makes me think, like, how often do we do this? How often do we have trust in God, but when life happens and it doesn't go the way we thought it would, we get distracted by our circumstances and where we are, and our circumstances take over, and we forget about our faith and our trust in God. Just like that airport moment, we get stressed a lot when we're running late, or things are out of our control and we get stressed. But sometimes God gives us enough time, but we choose to panic and stress over choosing peace and trust in Him.